Hola Madridistas, welcome to the preview for the second match of this year's UCL group stage as we head on to the land of the McDonald's League to take on Lille. I'm still pretty shaken up, I'm sure Farooq is as well. Pretty mad about the LW result yesterday, but the team has to put it behind us and go pick up the next 3 points. But before we get into all of that, a quick shout out to our sponsors Manscaped, the pioneers in male grooming. So if you're in the market for a pair of trimmers or maybe even a body wash, just consider buying it on manscaped.com and use code LBR20 for 20% off and free shipping. You might even be surprised at how cheap it actually turns out to be, and it will really help out the channel as well. So yeah, man, Farooq, let's get started by talking about the bullshit game that we saw yesterday.
Wait. So, does that mean if I play in the French League One, I get like free subscription to McDonald's till I die, or how does that work?
Yeah,
Or is
maybe
it Burger King or some shit like that?
looking at the highlights, I did see a couple of overweight players, so maybe that's the case.
Okay, all right, then that will be interesting. Let's keep that in mind in case if it's time to make a career change. Like the offer of free burgers till the end of time might be very tempting to turn down.
Yeah. But how about the Atletico game, man? Like I was telling you before the pod, like this was the first game in a long while where I've actually been mad at Ancelotti for the way that he closed out the game. It wasn't even about the subs; it was the way that we closed out the game. How about you, like?
Yeah, man. I also said my feelings. I listened to Sunil and Sahel as well, and they were highlighting, this person was good, this person was bad. And I just summarized you. I felt like, this was one game that, they should just tell us the score and we don't even need to play the match. Those meetings that should have been emails. Like, that's how it was. Like, it was like, okay, what's going on in this game? Of course, then, we had the whole celebration with the fans and the ultras and all that kind of, like, I think that was the most action we saw all game, man. Otherwise, man, that was a complete snooze fest. But I totally get where you're coming from with the whole Carlo thingy, and it was quite strange that you end the game with, I don't know, 20 defenders. Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? I don't even know what to play with that. And that's the thing, the interesting thing is this: you play all these defenders and you play high line, and then Korea breaks the high line.
There you
Like,
go.
I mean, bro, what the hell? I mean, you play the defenders to like fill the wall of the block, the low block, like to make it completely full. Then you play a high line with, all these defenders on the pitch, and then like, yeah, one ball from, I think it was from Lino, and then yeah, Korea breaks the offside trap, and that's just it. Like, it was quite strange, and I mean, they were up the other option. I definitely felt like, Arda Güler could have been an option, but as I said, like, it was a game that I honestly wasn't. That didn't create any excitement in me, honestly. Like, the 1-1 I felt for both sides was fair. Okay, like, people might talk about like Endrick had that, chance to maybe squaring Jude, and things could have been different. But anyways, like, it is what it is. That's just a story for the gods. What if not? Like, that's not the big deal. You understand? Just the game was. But I guess maybe that's how derby games are or should be. I don't know. Like, just because like we've been a bit spoiled, that we've had some quite nice, games either on one side or the other side. So maybe that's how derby games should be, like, without any, event and both team playing in a very cagey way and stuff like that. Well, yeah, it was in my opinion an uneventful game, and I can understand the point you're trying to make about Carlo as well, because I feel there were better ways to handle that game, but at least to handle the substitutions. It was quite strange to see that, like, you ended the game with with 6 defenders and you're still playing a high line. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it just caused more confusion than needed, and plus there was no need, man. It didn't seem at any point that until then, like, we honestly looked pretty solid in defense. Atletico wasn't threatening too much. We kind of had a handle on things. I felt like even Modric and they could have closed out the game. Nobody looked that gassed. We didn't need so many changes, and yeah, that actually made me mad. But yeah, you can't do anything about it, like, in retrospect. The other thing was that this game was missing a lot of quality. Like, we were misplacing passes for no reason, even though, and we were rushing up play. Like, you remember the Mendy pass in the second half, and then it went right to an Atletico player. Chouameni just left it. Like, just moments like that just show that sometimes we just lose concentration when our concentration should be so high up in a derby, and then that just pissed me off.
Yeah, that's true as well. Like as you said, I feel like it's you might like try to highlight that word. It's not an isolated incident, as you rightly said. Like the game was absolute horseshit when it comes to quality wise. Like you could see. I mean, from both sides of the teams, like it's like a lot of qualitative players in there, but for some reason, like in my opinion, like the technicality was just lacking. It was more about physicality rather than technicality in that game. Like it. I mean, you could just literally put your symbols there, and you could have slotted right in that game. You would have felt at home. So that's just the thing. I don't know what happened, but like honestly, like it was absolutely yeah, it was uneventful, man. Like it was a terrible watch. Honestly, it was a waste of 2 hours, since we also lost around 25 minutes with the whole fan, whatever. But yeah, it was an absolute waste of a watch. And yeah, the only thing we just have to highlight is that okay, like we came into the game 4 points behind Barcelona. We ended the weekend 3 points behind Barcelona. So you can do what you will with that, but the point is 1 point is 1 point. You gain that 1 point, and you gain 1 point on Barcelona. So yeah, it's a long journey, but yeah, gradually you take a step there.
Yeah, that's true. Like before the game, I was asking you, like, would you be satisfied with the 1-1 draw? And then you said yes. But at that point, Barcelona hadn't played, and they did play. The game was for the taking, the points. We almost had it in our grasp, and we let it go. But yeah,
That's the thing, like that's the painful thing, because I said, like it was an uneventful game, but we literally had it within our grasp, and then Carlo Ancelotti decided to play six defenders and play a high line, so it made no sense. And then with one break of that, and it's all gone. But again, we lost this game comprehensively last year. Like Atletico Madrid had our number last year. Like literally, they were creating chances at will last year. For the 2 games that they defeated us. So I think I will take this, honestly. Like I will take that. It does shows that there is an improvement in a certain direction. Of course, yeah. Like you wanted to end the weekend, just 1 point behind Barcelona, and what is not. But it's that point that you covered is still a point. Like, and it's at at the Metropolitano. So yeah, I think it's still a good point.
yeah. And I think just before we leave this topic, the last thing I want to highlight is that we are known for closing out games. We are known for having the know-how to finish off games, finish off opponents, come back. But how is this getting happened to us? This happened with not with Sociedad, it happened with Alaves. They almost came back. We couldn't close out the game. We saw it in earlier games as well, and then this game. Like, what is going on? Is just missing Cruz? Was it just Cruz who was in charge of closing out games? What is going on?
Nah. Come on, like I mean, it's not about. I don't think it's about close. I mean, okay, for the last 2 games, it's about you can forgive the Alaves game, because like we're literally cruising, and people lost concentration. I can forgive that. But for this game, I actually think it's just on the subs that Carlo made, because you put this much defenders in there and you ask them to push up that high. I think yeah, it's just a recipe for disaster, anyways. So I don't think like just these 2 games are enough sample size, to question that ability to close out games, So I think the one against Alaves, honestly, is just an anomaly and a loss in concentration. And of course, like Jesus Vallejo absolutely missed, remind me the name of the veteran, I forgot, boy. Like he absolutely missed him. So he there for that goal. So I think if you have the better player, it's. I mean, Tony Cruz is missing, but like I don't think like we can just everything go back and pinpoint everything like to Tony Cruz. Like nah, even the game yesterday was a snooze fest. It was a snooze fest. Like there's nothing you can do about that. Of course, like a player of the quality of Tony Cruz will always add a bit more spice to the game, but he's not there. We just have to deal with what we have to deal with. So that's the thing. But one thing I was happy about is the lack of Camavinga, because I felt like with the way the game was going, like a kick hero there will have just recreated the whole team with Camavinga, because he's an all energy midfielder as well. He cannot play with handbrakes on. So at least for that, we still get him fit and ready for maybe the midweek game that we're here to talk about.
Yeah, and the performance of Chow, man, I was so happy for him. Like that was my only positive takeaway. Like he was everywhere. He cut out every single ball. It's amazing.
I mean, as I said, like honestly, for me, I didn't see anything like from a technical perspective that actually impressed me. Like as I said, it was just all physicality. And I think everyone already knew like that. We know what physicality Chouameni can bring. It's always about like, okay, can he, as we saw against Alaves, like, he started to step up and, shows that that technical ability as well. And in the game before that, so like that's the thing, like for me, honestly, like I would, if I had come on the post match yesterday, like I would literally just been a snooze fest like the match as well, because I would just refrain from commenting on the players, because I honestly personally felt there was nothing to highlight. Honestly, there
Yep.
was nothing, because I mean, even the goal we scored was a very, I don't know, it was just Militao shooting the ball with the maximum power that is available to him, and it went on target. So that's the thing, that ball could have literally gone anywhere. They were also like literally the string of a hair away from being offside as well. So it's like, it was just all this, things. It wasn't like there was a really good situation where something like that. Nah, I mean, it is what it is. So yeah.
Yep. That's fair enough. But yeah, man, let's get into the preview. Actually, Demelsa via France is in the comments. He says, "Who will win?"
I mean, it's football. There is one rule to that. Everybody plays, Real Madrid wins. That's just the only thing, You
Yep.
huff and you puff, and eventually there's only one winner.
Yeah, that's especially true in the McDonald's League. But yeah, let's get into that. Lille haven't had the best start of the season, even in the league, not in the UCL as well. They lost to Sporting. They got a red card as well. Angel Gomez. It was a pretty stupid game from them. Like they just didn't appear that fresh. But lately they've been at least trying to improve. This guy Jonathan Davis, he had a hat trick in the last game.
Yeah.
Have you been following his career? Like I feel like I've heard his name before, but for some reason I've never, like, his face doesn't register for me.
Yeah, Jonathan David was part of the league winning team. I think it was in 22. Like with was it in 22 or in 21? I think it was in 21, because yeah, I think it was in 21. I'm not exactly sure. Like he won the title in 21 with Christopher Gaultier, like as a coach. So like yeah, he was part of that title winning team, and even before that, like he's a young Canadian that's been on the radar of a lot of top European teams. But we always hear about him every summer, but he never seems to be able to secure that move away. But one thing we know is that like during his spell, in France, he's always been very prolific. As you just highlighted as well. With the 3 goals at the weekend against Le Havre as well. So like that's the thing about Jonathan David. Like he definitely would be someone to watch out for in the game. But yeah, I mean, also again, on the other hand, also there is definitely a reason why he hasn't been able to, secure that move away. I don't know, maybe there's a issue with his temperament or the motivation. But then again, as we talk about, we all like to make fun of the League One, but like honestly, like the quality of the League One is just, I don't know, as you said, McDonald's League.
Yeah, unfortunately it is, and I just hope we'll get to see some good football. This game was supposed to be all about the Mbappe brothers. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see either of them. Ethan Mbappe is out for 2 to 3 months. I actually heard a rumor that Mbappe is going to be back. Do you think he's actually going to be fit, or was it just for PR?
Mbappe was in the squad list actually that was released, so he's traveling to France with the team.
Yeah.
So we are assuming that he at least will be on the bench. Maybe he makes a cameo here or there. We don't know, but at least he should be on the bench.
Yeah, they're saying he could be in training tomorrow as well. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like if he's included in the traveling squad, it means that like there is, they think that he is fit enough to take part in a way or not. But yeah, I mean I would honestly not risk Kylian Mbappe since already, because honestly what I thought as well before I learned about the injury to his brother Ethan was, I thought like, okay, they want to like make the Mbappe derby happen, so either 5 or 10 minutes they'll put Kylian against Ethan or some shit like that. But since Ethan is not playing, so I don't think there is a point to risk Kylian as well. It's the international break. It's Lille in France, of course. Yeah, it's his own country as well. He wants to come back. And stuff like that. But yeah, it's better just to keep him wrapped in cotton wool. And because after the international break, I think we have a very rigorous fixture list. Yeah, so I think it will be best just to bring him back then and do what we need to do.
Yeah, man. Did anything else stand out for you from the Lille squad? For me, it's just that, Andre Gomez is the absolute Barca legend playing there this season.
Yeah, like, I mean, we have Andre Gomez, we have Thomas Munier as well.
Oh, yeah. Are you excited to see his face again after,
Yeah, exactly, man. Like all Real Madrid fans, Thomas Munier, I think, is a player that we will never forget. We always remember that tackle, on Hazard. Like, of course, like we know it was an innocent tackle, but yeah, like it's just, the tackle that absolutely marks the beginning of the end of Eden Hazard at Real Madrid. So yeah, we will never forget, Thomas Munier. Well, it is what it is, it's the sport and one of the unfortunate sides of it.
Now,
But yeah,
I feel like that's an interesting question, right? Like, do you know what would have happened, or can you predict what would have happened if that tackle hadn't happened? Do you think Hazard would have gotten injured from another, like, because of the way he took care of himself or whatever? Or do you think everything
yeah, that's the
boiled
thing.
down to
Like
that one tackle?
Hazard was a player who, was never injured in the Premier League. He got kicked a lot and he doesn't get injured a lot. So because he doesn't look after himself that well, like I mean, everyone hears the story about the training, like and what is and what is not. He doesn't, train that hard. He doesn't look after himself either in the gym or on the pitch and stuff like that. He just turns up at the weekend and does his stuff and goes back home, with the man of the match award. So this is what he does. So I don't know. I just feel like, like again, that injury wasn't just, about the tackle from Thomas Munier. So it was just, a compilation of everything of like not being completely at the physical peak, and like if your body is not used to having injuries and all that, and like you don't also look after your body very well. So I think all that combines together to kind of, exacerbates the injury. But yeah, I do feel like because Eden Hazard was just starting to show the glimpses of what he could be for Real Madrid right before that injury. Like it's not like he was tearing the world apart. No, he was just showing the glimpses of what could have been. But I do think, like if he was able to build on that, I think he would have gotten somewhere close to not the Chelsea level, but he would have been able to, recapture something close to that level of what he was doing at Chelsea.
Yeah, like
Because
maybe someone
man,
like
Hazard,
Kaka's form, the way he closed out with us.
yeah, exactly, something like that, would have been because man, Hazard was a killer at Chelsea, man. Hazard was something else at Chelsea. Honestly, it was a sad thing, because I really really wanted, because I we always had this argument with my brother about Hazard versus Neymar, and my brother was like he preferred Neymar, and
Really?
I was like, bruh, Hazard is the guy, honestly.
Wait,
I mean, if you, I don't know,
you think Hazard is the guy over Neymar?
yeah, like during those days, I felt like Hazard was the guy for Real Madrid, like not Neymar actually.
Okay.
I that's how highly like I rated him. I loved him a lot. Like I feel like Hazard was the guy over Neymar during those years or so. It was quite I think it was like around 17, 18, 19. We always had this discussion with my brother like continuously about that. And then eventually Cristiano left and then you needed someone and like yeah, of course like Neymar wasn't gonna join Real Madrid at that point. But like yeah, it's like if we had the choice, like I was always like Hazard is, the guy who's, ready to do this. Because I always made the point that Hazard has led a team to trophies. He's led the team to 2 Premier Leagues. He's literally done stuff. Like and you you watch him week in week out, and like it's always yeah, wow, this guy is crazy. Like with Neymar as well, it's similar. But then you always feel like okay, maybe Neymar was a support of Messi. So like you don't know what Neymar will do as the leader of a team, stuff like that. So that was a discussion we always had, but. Yeah, man, it's because I always felt like the closest thing you get to Messi when it comes to that close dribbling was the Hazard. Like he
That's true.
literally glued the ball to his feet and you never can take it out away from him. So I really was high on it. So like unfortunately he came and it didn't happen. So unfortunately it is what it is.
Yep. But yeah, man, away from that depressing topic. Actually, like everything is like depressing. Like I don't know if it's just the mood with the Atletico game, but then I was watching all of the highlights, trying to make a scouting report for Lille, right? And then, you know what pissed me off? I was looking at all the League One highlights, and then instead of the match commentators' voices or like the crowd's voices being shown, they actually have a narrator narrating what happened for the goal. And then it was so offbeat. It almost felt like I'm watching a dead game or something. It sucks. I don't know why
Yeah.
anyone would do that.
I mean, it's marketing strategy, right? So everyone wants to try to do something different, like so. The point is, the way they want to market their stuff is, to kind of like do stuff that's some that others do not do, and hopefully, if it clicks, that's the thing you're trying to
Dude, it
look
was
for.
so
That
jarring.
uniqueness.
It's
That
like the strangest thing I've seen.
yeah, I can imagine the cringiness of that. But yeah,
But yeah, at least it was someone with like some football knowledge. It wasn't like some random guy just rambling on, just telling, "Oh, the ball went through the net." Or something. Yeah. But yeah, man, which is why I don't have too much of a scouting report on Lille. I just know they have had a bad start to the season. Just all of their eggs are on Jonathan Davis, hoping he finds his form
yeah.
and scores goals.
Yeah, I heard also like that Angel Gomez has been really good because actually he got recalled for England, but of course he's suspended due to the red card he got in the previous round, or
Yeah.
rather in the previous game. But like Angel Gomez has also been really good. He's also like let's say Manchester United reject. He was an academic graduate and like he left. And also like they have some veterans in like Remy Cabella as well, like Remy Cabella from he was a French international once upon a time and he was, done in the jersey of Newcastle in the Premier League as well for a certain period of time. So like these are players that could make stuff happen. And of course, you highlighted, the Barca legend Andre Gomez, so like yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see that. But the primary, source of threat is always gonna be Jonathan David. The Canadian is someone that has been prolific, and whatever we think of League One or not, like these are, these teams are here to play, and like mostly when these teams play against Real Madrid, it's and then you go to the stadium, like they literally play the matches of their lives. So, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle, for the game.
Yeah, man. Like Jonathan Davis is no joke. Like I think his overall stats, like I think he'll be able to get to 100 goals in League One this season if he completes like 20-25 goals.
Oh, wow.
And he's just like 24. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's he's really he's that's it. He's been on the scene for I think for the past 5 years. I think since he was 19 or some shit like that. So he's been on the scene for a long time. Like, and he's been linked continuously to a lot of to a lot of teams. But yeah, let's see, man. I mean, he's still young. He still has that room to grow.
Absolutely. Yeah, I guess when we're back, let's go for the ad read, and when we're back, we'll talk about the Real Madrid side of things. We'll talk about some rotations, see what they have in mind. But yeah, Doris, take it away.
Hola Madridistas, I'm back once again to remind you if you're ever looking for a way to support us, please do so and go to manscaped.com, use our code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. Check out these thick silicone bristles. They are 100% antibacterial, no more germs hiding on your head. The bristles gently exfoliate your scalp, and the product helps reduce flaking caused by dry skin and buildup. One of the coolest features is that it helps stimulate blood flow to your hair follicles, and increased blood flow equals healthier hair. And trust me, I know I have a lot of it. Bristles also enhance shampoo penetration for more foam and less product, and with that you can also pair the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner from Manscaped for the ultimate hair care routine. And this is a pretty big sizable thing, and let's not forget the relaxing massage that it provides after a long day. Using this feels like a mini spa treatment. It's a great way to unwind while taking good care of your scalp. So yeah, go to manscaped.com, use our code LBR20 at checkout to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping.
Hey folks, we're back. We were just discussing about 3-in-1 shampoos and the like, and Farooq was talking about the possibility in the future of, if science can do it, a 5-in-1 washer where you can wash your face, your hands, your car, and your dishes as well.
Don't forget, importantly, you can also wash your dishes in the kitchen as well in that
Yeah.
5-in-1 complete package, the complete brew package.
What Manscaped does to a person. Oh, but yeah. Let's get into Real Madrid, man. Do you expect a lot of changes from the last game? Obviously, we have Courtois out injured. Mbappe is still not really fit, and without Ethan, we say he's not really going to feature, right?
Yeah. Actually, I don't expect too much of a change, but what I do expect to see maybe it's maybe a Luka Modric being out of the team for I don't know, Arda Güler or something like that. Because it's an away trip and Luka's also played away at the Metropolitano at the weekend as well. So I think maybe we might see that change. But other than that, I don't see too much of a change going up. Maybe we might get a surprise with Fran Garcia for Ferland Mendy, but I don't see too much of a shake up in this team, honestly. So Well,
think-
yeah, the point is like,
Just looking
Yeah,
at
go on.
Rudiger, like my ask for the rotations was that fact that Rudiger looks kind of tired, or maybe he needs a bit of rest. So I was thinking maybe we could move Xiaomini back and then play Kamavinga at CDM. Seems like a perfect.
well,
game
that's a
to
that's a
introduce him.
possibility as well. But I mean, it's just well, yeah, that's true actually. Well, then also we have the international break, but then Rudiger still plays for Germany as well, so he has to go away with them. So that's quite strange. But that could be an option as well. But like, I'm just thinking, like, do you want to start Kamavinga directly back as you know, as a pivot, you know, right back from the injury, because he was out for how many? I think 1 month and some weeks, something like that. So
Yep.
you don't want to, you don't want to just throw him back as a pivot. So I think maybe it's better to, you know, have him. If he starts, like, you know, he starts alongside the midfielders, you know, but not just as a single six. But I also would not love to see him start. I would just, you know, love to take it easy with him. Like, you know, he comes on in the 60th minute, you know, plays 40 minutes, and, you know, gradually, like, you know, you get that that complete sharpness and fitness, you know. So that's something. But I do get the shout you're making about Rudiger, because yeah, I agree with you about the fact that Rudiger looks also a bit jaded as well. So maybe a rest here or there can do him favors. But yeah, I mean, this is, you know, the places where actually you needed that squad player like Nacho Fernandez. You know, this is the holes he plugs in the squad. But unfortunately, you know, like, we're very light on defense right now, and the only rotation we can have is, you know, from switching, you know, Rudiger and Militao from left center backs and right center backs, you know. That's the only kind of rotation we can, you know, we can get right now. Other than that, yeah, we just have to wait, you know, till David Alaba comes back to full fitness, and hope that, you know, he helps with the rotation.
Yeah, that's true. Alaba is actually back on the pitch, although he's still training alone. But it was his first day back on the grass, looking at the sunshine. But yeah, I mean, do you think it will
Yeah.
take much longer? Do you think it'll take well into 2025 until we see him?
No, I do think we're gonna see him till the end of the year, because that's the thing. Like, so, like, they're thinking of, like, you know, because we have one more international break in November, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, I think that was the target, was like, you know, after that international break, we should be able to get to see David Alaba once more.
Absolutely. I guess then let's just talk lineups and close this out. So Lunin in goal. We don't have centre backs to rotate, so maybe Militao on the right for this game, and then Rudiger on the left.
Yeah, we go back to the traditional CB pairing, right? Yeah.
Nice CB rotations, and then you think Carvajal gets a rest this game?
No, I don't see Carvajal getting the rest this game. I think we continue with Carvajal. Yeah, I think we continue with Carvajal. Maybe down the line you get a substitution with Lucas Vasquez, but I think we continue with Carvajal.
Yeah, I feel like Carlo wants a bit of stability after the craziness of last game. So are we saying Mendy is going to be playing as well?
Yeah, I think Mendy plays, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fran goes. But I will actually lean towards Fran Garcia playing this game.
Yeah, he actually looks decently in form, and you know, Carvajal is just too important. It's not like we might need Mendy this game. We can probably survive with Fran Garcia.
Yeah, that's also, you know, it depends on how Lille plays as well, you know, because like if Lille is on the front foot as well, then like maybe Fran Garcia will suffer a bit, you know. But like if they sit in there, you know, low blocks and, you know, soak up the pressure, then Fran Garcia will most likely try, because like he, you know, he's gonna be on the defensive, and that's what he does best. But if he goes on if he has to defend, then, you know, it's something that will leaves little to be desired. So we just have to wait, you know, to see what approach Lille takes as well, and that will, I think, determine if he's gonna be comfortable or not.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, man, take it away for the midfield as well. Surely Xiaomini, Valverde, and Bellingham.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tchouaméni, Valverde, Jude, and I do think we're gonna see Arda Güler pop up in there as well. Yeah.
What was it actually a diamond that we saw yesterday? What was your take on the formation?
I think it was a 4-4-2 flat, not a diamond.
Yeah. Modest was too
I think
wide.
it was a 4-4-2. Yeah, exactly. I think it was a 4-4-2 flat, not a diamond. Or maybe it was a diamond, but like the players interpreted it in a different way. I felt like it was a 4-4-2 flat. But then, you know, so the thing about like our midfield is, although like whether good or bad, is like, you know, there is no exact rigid structure to it. It's always been, you know, something that's been like the players just based on their mobility, like do go into spaces and like change positions a lot.
Yeah.
So it could also be that as well. And as I said, like because the game was absolutely nothing to write about, it was just all about physicality, moving here and there, and then verticality and all that. But it's like it lacked any technical quality. So I think maybe that's why we weren't able to see the diamond if it was indeed a diamond.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's definitely going to be a fourth man in midfield, but we just don't know. It's going to be Modric continuing or Gula, right? Do you think there's going to be a strange Ceballos start on the cards?
No, actually, I don't think there's going to be a strange Ceballos card start. But what I do think is that we should not be surprised if we see a strange Hendrik start somewhere.
Yeah, this is actually a good shout to start the game.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see a strange Hendrik start, like in the sense that, yeah, in that case, then I would think of a 4-3-3, with Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Hendrik, like just the Brazilian, the Brazilian trio making it out in France. So yeah, that's I mean, rather than Ceballos, I will lean towards more, Hendrik as the player that can be, the surprise by Gano.
Yeah, that's a fair shot. I'm in full support of it. I just don't think. I think it's just too early on, man. I feel like we have to wait for the first Copa del Rey game to actually see that happen.
I think we're not gonna get to that because the first Copa del Rey game is in December, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think we get to that place before Hendrik gets a start. Considering the fact that, like, I also at the beginning was on the fence about that, but I think the way he's conducted himself. But I do think like gradually we start to see him get more minutes rather than coming in the 80th. We're gonna start seeing the 70th, the 60th, and that. But also the issue is that Carlo doesn't do the early substitutions as well, so that's also something. He always leaves them late in the game. But I mean, I think you get the point that he's gonna gradually, be eased into it, and I do think we're gonna see a start somewhere in either the league or a away Champions League game or even at home, like something like that. So he's getting there bit by bit. But I do agree with you as well that like for tomorrow is just a bit too soon. And I think if we add Arda Güler into there, I think it's just, a two-man attack and we know who they are like. So it's just like, the Brazilian duo of Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. So I don't think it's gonna be anything different that at least for the forwards.
Absolutely. And Sunil's in the comments, he says, no Mbappe reunion. Absolutely, man. He also says, can we really blame Carlo for yesterday, boys?
I mean, he is the one who decided to play 6 defenders and play highline, no?
Yeah. And I feel like he could have pulled it off if he gave the players a bit of instructions. It's not just even about the highline, and just like a bit more coordination. Even before that, it's nobody knew their positions. It's like Lucas Vazquez was looking around, seeing, is he actually playing right winger or is he playing right back? He didn't know.
Right back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the point is like the match was absolute horseshit. So like, it's not like there is a blame exactly to someone. As I said, like it's a game that could have been an email. Just send us an email, and this is just the scores, and everyone takes their points and go to their house. There's no need to exert the energy for 90 minutes. So yeah, that's it. But like, I just feel like those subs to me did not make any sense, honestly. Like, well, yeah, it is what it is. He thought or something. But yeah, I guess there was a lapse in concentration. As you highlighted, it's about the fact that there was a lack of coordination and cohesion between the players because like they didn't know what to do or the instruction wasn't clear enough as well. So yeah, anyways, what's in the past is in the past, man. We just have to look forward.
Yeah, I'm sure like someone is learning, and Slot is like learning, even though it's 75 or something. But yeah, man, let's close this out and hope for the best. See some exciting football again. Yeah, let's go with predictions.
Yeah, man, I'll go for Real Madrid 3-1 victory.
And I feel like our defense is gonna be on point for some reason again. So a 4-0. I'm gonna be bold. Hendrik hat-trick.
Oh.
It's gonna be tight until Hendrik comes on, and then he changes the game.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Jonathan Davis gets a couple or at least one. Let's see.
Wow.
But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Demelsa and Sunil, thanks for keeping us company in the chat. But yeah, folks, if you're new here, don't remember to like the video and subscribe. It'll really help us out. And if you can get a chance, just check out manscaped.com and use code LBR20. You can buy a shampoo, a body wash. I don't know if they have a 5-in-1 yet, but I'm sure we can somehow make it happen in the future.
They
Again,
have a
in the-
2-in-1 shampoo, though. Shampoo and conditioner. They have a 2-in-1 shampoo, which is the one actually I use.
Yeah.
Like, and it's quite nice actually.
Yeah, you can see it. See, it's so nice. But yeah, check it out, guys. And we're not gonna have fan camps this game, but yeah, we're still pushing out the fan camps from the Atletico game. So watch out for those on our Instagram. The links are down in the description below. Check out Real Madrid committee as well. They're our partners, and then check out their awesome work. And last but not the least, all of you audio folks, if you have any comments on the audio quality or on the structure of the podcast, do leave comments or just ping us on our Instagrams or just come over to YouTube. Yeah. And so we'll see you again in the post match, I guess. Until next time, folks. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.